I've never really been a person that can get too like down on myself or my circumstances or, just the way that things are going, because I know that it's not going to stay that way. Like, I know that it's just a moment and that I can literally change it whenever I want.
Shawty press, shawty fine, yeah, face card valid, she gon' slay it every time. Independent, on the grind, yeah, all about the money.
Hey everybody, it's me, back with another TED Talk. Back with another video of really just my thoughts. So these are some things that I've kind of just been thinking about over the past couple weeks and entering into this new season of fall/winter. I'm in Kentucky, so it's kind of both. It's kind of like summer/fall/winter. Sometimes they mix a little spring in there. Yeah, we never know what we're gonna get. So just transitioning into this new season of just being, like the season of change, the season of growth, and a season of kind of death, like death of all of the old things, old ways, old people, old mentalities, old lifestyles, old patterns, just out with the old, and starting a season of just building and kind of creating anew. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And really, in this season, I have just become more aware of how I operate, how I process things mentally, how I just kind of what my flow is. And I've pretty much come to the conclusion that I'm really delusional, like really delusional. And let's just talk about that for a second, because I feel like delusional is kind of like a trending word right now. Like, it just is for some reason, but it's a real thing that we all kind of experience at some point, and some of us just live our lives that way. Me personally, one thing about me, my life is going to be a fairy tale. Whatever I have to do, it's going to be just this magical, like, combination of just all of the things that I want and desire, and all of my hopes and dreams, and all of my wildest dreams are just going to come true. Because it is, because I'm going to make sure that it is. So maybe it's a little bit of delusion mixed with a little bit of vision, mixed with a little bit of intentionality. I don't know. But it's important. I know that delusion is important. I've always kind of known it. I feel like I've never really lost, my imagination, so to say. I really think that, in a sense, being delusional keeps me sane. It really allows me to believe that my reality is exactly what I desire. My reality is exactly what I want it to be, even if it's not at the moment. If something's happening that I feel like I wouldn't necessarily pick, but it's happening. I can't do anything about it because I'm in it. It's happening, right? Right now. So with that being said, I think that the delusion that I have kind of helps me understand and know that even in moments of discomfort or an uneasiness, I'm in a season where things are happening that I feel are out of my control, or things that I don't necessarily desire right then, my delusion allows me to always be in a space that is desirable in the midst of an undesirable circumstance, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but I do know that I've never really been a person that can get too down on myself or my circumstances or, just the way that things are going, because I know that it's not going to stay that way. I know that it's just a moment and that I can literally change it whenever I want. So yeah, I think in that sense, like when you're delusional in that sense, it's a good thing. Like it's helpful, it's comforting, it really allows you to just be. Like it really opens the space for more of a flow, which I think a lot of us need, honestly, because we try to control so much. We're so used to being able to just have things at our fingertips and see whatever we want at any given moment, but that kind of creates a mentality of disappointment when things don't go our way, when things aren't what we want them to be. Like we can't just open up our phone or open up our life, our circumstances, or open up a door and it be exactly what we want it to be. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I feel like, opening the door and just seeing what it is and experiencing it and going through it. And if it's not exactly what we thought it was going to be or what we anticipated, then that's fine. Like we could just keep it moving. And it's hard to do that because we create expectations. You know, that's another big thing that I really try not to do, is have expectations for anything. I can have plans, I can have goals, but got to be careful not to cross that line of expectation when it comes to outside forces, outside entities, outside people, circumstances, situations, whatever the case may be, because that's not always controllable. And when something doesn't go our way, then we just kind of, you know, end up in a space of what the hell, like, why isn't this happening? We run into the spaces of depression and just lack of understanding. And the understanding really just is, you can only control what you do. You can only control who you are, how you are being and showing up. So I feel like as long as you're showing up for yourself and the things that you want and being intentional about that, that's all you can really work with. Hold on a second. I think in addition to expectations, we also get really easily attached to things. And when I say attached, I mean in a sense of like, almost like possession, almost like we start to require those things in order to live life or be happy, you know? So that could be people, things, places, friend groups, just anything. And I feel like I've been asked multiple times in my life how I'm able to just kind of move on from things, mostly being relationships. So most recently, I exited a 5-year relationship, and it was, I'm not going to say it was easy for me, but it's always kind of simple for me to let people go. And I think that that's one of the qualities about myself that I'm kind of the most open to, because I feel like detachment is an important characteristic. Like it's an important skill to have throughout every phase of life. Like between all of the things that we go through, all of the different people that we are going to experience, I feel like you just have to have that. I think you just have to have the ability to truly detach from people, situations, all of the things that we go through, just all of the things that we experience. I think that detachment just saves a lot of heartache, you know, and disappointment. And so that's just what I choose. It comes kind of easy for me. And I think that that probably has, you know, something to do with my childhood, maybe some trauma that I may have experienced as a child or a baby or whatever the case. And I think maybe I'll talk about that on here one day, because I'm in a season of just truth and healing, just overall healing and acknowledging what this life is, exactly who I am, what my story is, all of those things. It's funny, you know, speaking of that, because this is the season that I feel like I'm really learning my purpose. I'm really learning how to be on purpose. And I think being on purpose is probably like one of the biggest saving graces in a world that is so chaotic, because when you're on purpose, you completely move with intentionality, and you know, it becomes harder for you to make like kind of impulsive decisions as far as what you choose to put yourself through, or what you choose to allow yourself to be exposed to. And I think that can be small things and big things, you know. It could be a multitude of things, but I think it also allows you to really have the ability to stay true to yourself. Being on purpose really allows me to understand exactly what my whole entire being wants and doesn't want. And when it doesn't want something, I completely have the strength to not choose that. I completely have the strength to fully understand and decide that I'm probably not going to partake in this. I'm probably not going to be a part of the shenanigans. But no, really, like, I think it just makes it easy for me to say no. It makes it easy for me to say no to the things that do not align with my spirit, with my calling, with my journey, and things that are just not good for me in my healing process. And I'm really proud of that, because I think I've never really been able to do that before. People pleasing is a real thing, and I feel like those of us who may have experienced certain things as a child or just have certain traumas, we unintentionally make the decision to try to please everyone. And maybe it is intentional, but I think that can be kind of dangerous, because we get in a space of not really satisfying our own desires, like our own, just satisfying ourselves. We want to satisfy everybody else so much that we completely will kind of throw ourselves under the bus, and that's kind of stupid. So yeah, we gotta stop. And I think that mentality of being on purpose is something that really has helped me to get out of that space of even wanting to operate that way. And so I'm about to turn 33 in a couple months, January 10th. So mark your calendars. But I think this age, for some reason, that I'm about to turn, you know, I'm a huge believer in numerology, all of the things, like all of the woo-woo stuff. I'm not opposed to any of it, because a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it makes a lot of sense. And I think that the number 33 is a really strong number. It's very powerful. It's very apparent and obvious in my life right now. So I think me turning this age specifically is kind of pushing me into a season of uncomfortability, ultimate elevation, and just really learning the most about myself. I was just asked a few months back what my middle name is, or what my middle name means, and it's 𝗗𝗟𝗨, so the name that you see on my channel, and I couldn't tell them. I had actually never. So I was pretty much 2 years old when I discovered what my middle name even means, and it's South African descent, and it means gift to the people. Gift to the people. And it said things like, you know, if you have a 𝗗𝗟𝗨, apparently it's commonly used in that region as like a first name, not a middle name. So it said if you're surrounded by a 𝗗𝗟𝗨, then you are very lucky. They are very happy, inspirational, I think, and all of the positive things. And I never knew. So I think, like I said, it's just something in this season that is really forcing me to know myself, to know what I want, know who I am, know where I'm going, know where I've been, and just really understand me and this path that I'm on. And I'm learning this as I get older. It's important to not be afraid of digging deep inside yourself, even if that means that you have to let go of things, people, situations that are hindering you. The more you dig, the more they are throwing the dirt back into the hole. Imagine you're digging a hole and there are people standing on the outside. Literally, at the more that you shovel out the dirt, the more they kick back in the dirt. And it's just working against you. It's working against your process. It's working against your journey. It's working against your goals. It's working against all of the things that you are intentionally doing. You're intentionally digging that hole. But they're also, unbeknownst to them, maybe they think that they're helping you by or maybe they're doing it intentionally. Maybe they're trying to work against you. Either way, they're not helping. They're not helping your process. They're pretty much holding you back from getting to where you are trying to go. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest lesson in this season. And I think that with me starting this YouTube channel and learning the meaning of my middle name, and I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but for me right now, it feels very purposeful. It feels very intentional. It feels like, what else would it be? What else would it mean? And so here I am trying to figure out exactly what my gifts entail. What exactly am I here to give to the people? Since I'm such a gift, what is it? Yeah, but I'm figuring it out. And I thank you guys for being on this journey with me. And hopefully I live up to that meaning. Hopefully you guys definitely get something out of my messages. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate even the attention to my content. So yeah, let me know what else you guys want to hear. I'll be kind of doing more videos like this, just kind of maybe rambling, maybe just, letting out all of my thoughts. But I know somebody needs to hear something. If this is your first time on my channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Like this video for me and hit that bell notification so you can get notified every time I drop a little something. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you guys want to see, what you want to hear me talk about. And I think the next video might involve food, because that's how I'm feeling right now. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. 'Cause I don't want the simple life. It's a